Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome back to The Next Move, the podcast where we explore faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. I'm your host, Orvin Kimbrough. And today's reflection is personal. Well, aren't they all personal? But this one is personal and also deeply practical, because I want to talk about something that robs us of our energy. It robs us of alignment, and it robs us of peace. Something we all wrestle with, whether we admit it or not. Comparison. Here's the truth. Comparison, it kills clarity. When you play someone else's game, you lose sight of your own scoreboard. You start measuring success by their metrics, by their status, by attention, by money, instead of the thing that actually matter to you. Things like impact, things like peace, alignment, and purpose. I've been in leadership now for, hard to believe, over 30 years, spanning nonprofits, spanning civic spaces, and now as the accidental banker, CEO of a bank. And I can honestly say this: most of us are more comfortable fitting into a mold that someone else created for us. Why? Because it feels safer. It feels predictable. There's a blueprint to follow. But what I've learned, and what I'm still learning, is that when you play someone else's game, you are already at a disadvantage. The game wasn't built for your skills. They weren't built for your gifts. The rules weren't made for your mission. I remember sitting in a meeting early in my career, surrounded by people who had influence. And I asked a question, as I tend to do, just one. I asked if the community development initiative we were reviewing, that we were working in, was actually intended to succeed. The silence that followed, the silence was loud. And then someone pulled me aside and said, to watch myself. That was a defining moment. You'll always feel like you're falling short because you're not playing your game. Purpose gives us edge. Now, let me shift to this, because this isn't just a warning, folks, it's an invitation. When you align with your purpose, you move differently. When you align with your purpose, you make decisions from conviction, not competition. That, my friend, is how you find your edge. During my time at United Way, I had the privilege of learning from some amazing leaders, especially one former CEO, who taught me the importance of focusing on the scoreboard and building real relationships. But even from day one, I knew I wasn't there to just follow his path. I was there to learn and then to build on it. Folks, that's what real leadership looks like. It looks like respecting the rules and knowing when it's time to stretch them. And if you need a biblical reminder, think of David. Saul tried to give his armor to David before the battle with Goliath. David put it on, but he couldn't move. He said, I can't go in these. He had to fight in his own skin. The same goes for us. We can't move freely in someone else's identity. Did you catch that? You can't move freely in someone else's identity. Now, let me tell you, playing someone else's game, well, it will cost you. It'll cost your authenticity. It'll cost your clarity. It will cost your peace. Even if you win, you may wake up and realize you never actually wanted the prize. Let me say this clearly. You can't win a game that was never yours to play. If you're listening right now and feeling like you've been chasing someone else's prize, just pause. Ask yourself, what are your metrics? What does winning look like for you? My early lessons in St. Louis, my early lessons in my career, I was an intern at the National Benevolent Association. I'll never forget that time. That role introduced me to the ecosystem of community and economic development in St. Louis. I saw the systems. I saw the power structures. I saw the incentives that quietly but powerfully shaped outcomes. In neighborhoods like Jeff Vanderloo, revitalization, well, it happened in cycles. Every couple of decades, someone came in with a new vision. But the game didn't really change because the rules didn't change. And I started asking tough questions, questions that some people, well, they didn't want me to ask. I've learned that if you're going to lead with purpose, you've got to be okay making people uncomfortable. Folks, you've got to focus. You've got to stay awake. You've got to keep asking the hard questions. Here's what I want you to remember. Legacy doesn't come from imitation. Legacy comes from alignment. People don't remember those who played it safe. Did you catch that? People don't remember those who play it safe. They remember those who played their game fully, those who played their game courageously and consistently, no matter your background, whether you are urban or rural, whether you are Black or white or anything else, whether you are nonprofit or business. We all want the same things. We want safety, opportunity, and dignity. And we're all playing a game within a larger system of incentives and structures. Those of us with a higher level of consciousness must ask, are our actions helping or hurting the communities we serve? I often reflect on the erosion of the tax base in our neighborhoods. Charitable organizations, well, they do important work, but we also need to recenter our efforts around entrepreneurship. We need to recenter around small business ownership. We need to recenter around economic vitality, not just because they create jobs, but because they sustain communities. We need more storefronts engaged in commerce, not just charity. That's how we restore the tax base. That's how we grow the employment base. That's how we reimagine what's possible. We need to reimagine what's possible. So let me leave you with this. Is your ladder leaning against the right wall? Are you chasing what's real for you or just reacting to someone else's scoreboard? Play your game. Master your lane. Write your rules. And if you don't know where to start by asking better questions. Start by paying attention to the quiet voice inside that says, this ain't it. That voice, that voice, that voice, that's clarity calling. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. If this episode resonated with you, head over to orvinkimbrough.com for more reflections like this and join our community on Facebook or LinkedIn. Until next time, keep making your next move your best move.
Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.